Alright, we should be live.
Alright. Hello, everyone. This is Gex Free Deep Cover Gecko. This is specifically the PS1 version. There's also a version on N64. I'll explain the differences along as we go through the run. But anyway, again, this is 100% in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is kind of a lengthy one. Not too long, but definitely longer than some other games. Bit considerably longer than Gex 2 at about a little under a half hour. But the goal of this run is to get all 50 remotes, beat all bosses, secret TVs, and bonus levels, and also get all 150 paw coins and 45 bonus coins. Incoming Dana Gould, well, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, we turn the voices off in this game because it saves minutes throughout the entire run, because otherwise, Gex would pause before going through a TV every time in order to say something, and as I mentioned earlier, it saves a lot of time to turn it off prior. So every level is based off some kind of movie or TV genre parody. As you can tell, this is a Christmas-themed level. We affectionately call it Christmas Land, although the real name is totally Scrooged. And you're gonna see the debut of a pretty annoying feature that recurs throughout this run, at least throughout a lot of levels, and it's these little critters. In this level, it's these penguins, but they also appear as other things like chickens or rabbits or whatever, and they just run around all over the place, being a nuisance. And in this level are these mailboxes that slow us down and make us wait. Oh, come on, there we go. Like here. 1, 2, 3, and I missed the tail kick there because I am good at video game. So yeah, there are 3 remotes in each level that are hidden throughout the level, rather, and then a 4th one that you get from getting 100 fly coins. And obviously, you'd get the 100 fly coin remote in combination with another remote, or sometimes multiple remotes, but we'll get to that later. So this area features these ice platforms as cycles, and these cycles are camera dependent. They don't start until they are seen. And that applies to most cycles in Gex, actually. And that said, if they don't exist on camera, then they pretty much don't exist at all. Or you can use the camera to manipulate them however you want, or to restart them. Not every cycle, just the vast majority of them. And like I said, these critters get pretty annoying. Oop, nice camera. Also, fly coins have very questionable hitboxes. A lot of enemy patterns can be manipulated by the way you move. Sometimes they're not too bad to manipulate, other times it is rather difficult to get a precise way to manip them. Like those elves, for example, are kind of hard to manip, but these elves here are fairly easy to manipulate. And you might have saw a snowboard as I entered this section, and normally you are forced onto that snowboard, but if you jump into the loading zone at just the right time, you will skip the trigger for the snowboard. So, need to whack the 5 snowboarding elves, and you see me going through these goalposts as it'll spawn a bonus coin if I go through them all. Right here. See, I skipped the cutscene, but you'll see the bonus coin in a bit. See right there. And also the last of the fly coins, and you'll notice whenever you get the remote, the 100 fly coin remote, the remote stays above your head for a bit, and you have to like wait for the animation to play or for the sound to play before you can actually leave the level. So like if you land on the button with the remote still above your head, you have to wait for it to play out. And you'll notice that I tail whipped when landing onto the button and paused and exit. That's a frame perfect chance you have to land that. And it saves about 4 seconds every time you do it, because it skips the screen that says congratulations and shows you what you got from the level or whatever. So this next remote, Defeat Evil Santa. It's just kind of a battle of depth perception here, and finding the best way to hit the presents. I personally like going off to the side. And then you tail whip into the last present so that you fall down here and save a little bit of time. You can use tail whips to U-turn. Second quick exit. And then we got one more remote. This one we will just be trekking through areas you've already seen, but we'll be getting stuff that we haven't gotten yet just because it is faster to get it on this visit. Like, for example, now is the ideal time to go in this chimney. We got hung up on the fly TV there. Those purple flies are extra lives, and then the green ones are extra health, or like to refill your health. And then there are other fly TVs with different colors that serve as power-ups, like spit power-ups, that you'll see later in the game. Should also mention how important camera control is because of how laggy this game can get. So reducing lag is a very smart thing to do in a lot of cases. And it's even worse if you're playing the N64 version. Because the N64 version, while it has way less loads, it still does have some loads, interestingly enough, and that is an advantage. It also has way more lag. There's also a few different levels between the versions, so because of all of these differences, instead of putting all onto one leaderboard, they're separated into different consoles. So if you, for some reason, want to run the N64 versions, you can. And you don't have to worry about comparing the PS1. Though most people nowadays do run on PS1, is worth noting. So this is the first bonus level of the run. Every main level has a bonus level that corresponds to it, but there's only 5 unique ones. This is the first of them, Marsupial Madness. Come on. Yeah, you jump before hitting the bells, because as you'll see here, there's this animation that plays if you don't, and then you pause and exit when you see the complete text. Worst camera in this game? I don't know, because in general, I feel like the camera is a little better in this game than it is in Gex 2. The camera can get pretty intrusive in Buccaneer Program, the pirate level. That is a good contender. But anyway, this is going to be the introduction of a series staple. A very unique trick called TV canceling. There are multiple ways to pull it off, but the general gist is that it allows you to grab a remote without being forced out of the level. And I'm going to go for a def TV cancel, where I will pause, well not pause, I will take a hit and die above the button, and my corpse will fall onto it. Like that. Yeah, the army maze can get pretty annoying as well. So now we're going to tackle the 100 Flycoin remote. And technically we do 3 remotes here at once, although it does not involve a TV cancel just because of the way this level in particular is designed. That bullet's really annoying. I like to try to travel on that higher block where that paw coin was a bit further out to try and manipulate the bullet into hitting it, so I don't have to worry about it aside from that. But this next objective is to find and beat 3 minigames, which will each give you a bonus coin each, and then beating all of them will activate a TV. The first one here is in the sink. You pop these bubbles. 2 of the 3 bonuses have a paw coin in them as well. And yeah, that is the general rule, is that just in tight spaces, it's just not very good. Like, in the pirate level, with the 4-boat remote, whatever it's called, like, going through the loading zones to get to the cannons to hit the boats, the camera just loves to get stuck on them, and it's really annoying. So here's a trick that I think you only see twice in this run. Walking underwater, you just flick your tongue as you fall into the water, and the next instance will actually not be until close to the end of the run. These bears are kind of a nightmare. If you don't know what you're doing, it's very easy to take hits from them and just lose damage constantly in this level, which you don't want to, because if you die, you revert back to the amount of fly coins that you had before a checkpoint, and since there are no checkpoints in this level, that means doing it all over again. There are also, should probably mention, there are instances where you can grab a fly coin, but it does not add to your counter, called fly coin glitch, and all you can really do is either die or re-enter the level. There are other similar things that can happen that I guess we would call fly coin glitch as well, like a fly coin just going through a wall and falling out of bounds and you can't get it. Just the fly coins in this game aren't very well programmed, you'll notice. And yeah, this has been a big hedge maze. And now, whoops. That is not intended. Normally you need to find a statue, tail whip it, and it'll extend that bookcase, but you don't need it. The second minigame we'll be doing is on this pool table to destroy these balls. These angry pool balls that look down on you all judgmental. And this will be the only instance through the entire run, if I can get it, of sub-jumping. I got it. Where you slide off of a ledge, because whenever you stop moving, Gex will do kind of a slide animation. You can do all sorts of unique things with it, like the sub-jump. It's only used one other instance that I can think of in a Gex speedrun, and that's to skip the first boss in Gex 2. Shoutouts to American Cheeseburger in the chat for finding that one. Normally you want to hit those TV monitors on the other side of the room to move out the portrait there, but you can just tail whip right through it. And then the last minigame here, the only one without a paw coin in it, is to get on this stuffed and preserved bear head to kill fleas that are attracted to it despite not having any blood. Or ticks, or whatever I guess they'd be. Since fleas normally wouldn't be on a bear, it would be ticks. Because, you know, forest, wilderness, that kind of stuff. And then that'll activate the TV, but we will not be getting it on this visit, we'll be getting another remote, but when we re-enter the level, the TV will still be active, because I'm guessing the flag is just to have the 3 bonus coins in the level. So the route lines up pretty nice here. I'm gonna get this just for marathon safety, because dying at the end of this level would be really unfortunate, especially this early on into the run. Anyway, entering that area and leaving it will zombify these stuffed and preserved bears, like full bears, not just bear heads. And you'll see them in a bit. Anyway, you hit that statue to activate a timer, which will activate this paw coin. You have to get it before the timer runs out. The remote we will be doing here is to break free blood coolers, which is kind of just a retreading of a couple of remotes from the previous Gex game. Yeah, I didn't need that fly at all. I slid a bit too far away there. didn't get the quick exit. Like I said, it is a frame-perfect trick, so the likelihood of getting it is decently low. It is all timing still, but yeah, frame-perfect. 30 FPS, though. Could be worse. Could be 60 FPS. Anyway, like I said, we just need to re-enter to get that one free minigames remote. Alright, backup strat at least. Anyway, next we're going to be doing the bonus level that corresponds to Mystery TV. And this level is probably my least favorite thing about running this category. And it appears again later on, not too far into the run. But these elves have the worst hitboxes. They are pretty much the same elves as you saw in the first level. But here we are forced onto the snowboard. And it just makes it a complete nightmare to deal with. So, like, this one's actually going well so far. And then every homeworld has, or every hub has some things to do. This is the only hub without a 100 fly coin remote, but there is a tutorial section. But first we're going to get this Dracula outfit. You saw it in the previous level. It also exists here. And we're going to do some interesting things with it. First we need to hit 3 of these. We'll be getting 2 of them now and 1 in a little bit. And then what we're going to do is go up here, fly against the wall. There's a slope you can take advantage of. And then you just count to know how far to fall, and then you keep gliding, keep on gliding before eventually you reach the end of the tutorial section. And we're just going to do it in reverse, because otherwise it would have a bunch of forced cutscenes and is in general kind of slow to do the intended way. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. And yeah, there's just more collectibles to get. The fastest way of moving, as you might have been able to tell, is tail kicking. And the way it works is that when you start moving, Gex moves slow, and then after about half a second, will gain full walking or running speed, and that's when you can do tail kicks. It's the crouch button, R2, which is also the button used to fly. This is not the last time you'll be seeing a flying costume, though. And then you hit the third machine there to open this, and gain access to the first secret TV. There's one secret TV in each hub, and they're all just get 50 fly coins, and then a vault coin at the end. Now, these levels are a bit different in the N64 version. 2 of them, including this one, are outright replaced. This one and the one you'll be seeing in the next hub. They're just completely different levels. We got another critter here. And then there's 2 more in this level. And that's it for this hub, Mission Control. I'm guessing it is for memory restraints. Gex 2 on N64 just outright has several levels removed. So the N64 port of this game is definitely better than Gex 2's port. But anyway, second hub, yes, it is called Lake Flaccid, and immediately reminds you no premarital Gex is allowed. But like I said, each hub from now on is going to have a 100 fly coin remote. So we're going to be taking care of this one's right now. And then boat cycle here. You want to try to get this paw coin as early as you can. Damn. That was very close too. So yeah, we're gonna have to be going through all of the areas with each level well before we actually go to the levels contained in them. Oops. Those sandcastles, when you break them, lag a lot. So camera angle can obviously be a huge contribution to that. And I got that one fly coin over the umbrella without ledge grabbing. That's a rarity. Oh, I thought I was about to fall down. I want to fall down, but I specifically need that fly coin there. I don't want to fall down too early. Say no to bugs, everyone. Those pesky, gross bugs. Hey, it's another secret TV. The other one that was cut and replaced in the N64 version. We'll get to that later, though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, every level has 10 paw coins and 3 bonus coins. And then getting 25 paw coins will give you an additional permanent hit point, up to 4 extra, so 8 in total, since normally you start out with 4. So the counter at the end will actually say 50 rather than 150. This is probably the most tedious section of this remote. Just going through this section, killing these reslings. The first one you can at least leave the fly coins behind for now, but the others you have to do it right then and there. And then this is a tricky fly coin to get. Alright, I recovered at least. You can take time to set it up, but that's slow. Alright. Oops. So yeah, this is In War and Pieces. I guess I should have mentioned that the one before this is called Gecko Sports. We are in a tank, and we have to kill these other tanks. These sentient tanks that have faces. Almost clown-like faces, too. And then some more examples of camera-based cycles. There are these gold clocks that appear throughout these bonus levels, but if you know what you're doing, you never actually need any of them. You just get them because they get in the way. Also, the rule of if something doesn't exist on camera, then it doesn't exist at all. That also applies to anything you might try to kill or destroy. As you'll be seeing here, and in the level coming up, which, like that bonus, is military themed. And up next is the Army channel right here, War is Heck. Every level has, like, both a channel name and an actual, like, proper level name, I guess you could call it. So, like, the other levels, Totally Scrooged is also Holiday Broadcasting, and Clueless in Seattle is also Mystery TV. So, first objective here, you're going to see some camera manipulation there to reduce lag. But the first objective is to destroy these 3 bug crates, which involves terrorizing this town and destroying all of its buildings. Now, you don't actually have to tail whip the bug crates, you can just walk right through them and they get destroyed, but U-turning is nice, so that's why I tail whip there. And then next visit, we will be taking care of the 3 other remotes. And that also does mean we're going to have to be going back to that tank section to destroy even more of the town, because there are 39 fly coins we have to get here. Now, even though those don't exist on camera technically, they are close enough to you to count. So hopefully I destroyed those buildings correctly. We'll see at the end. I messed up the camera manipulation there, so that didn't get destroyed when I wanted it to. Also, the camera has tank controls, because what would you expect from a literal tank? Thankfully, oops, didn't shoot before hopping out, but thankfully, the tank controls only apply to the tank and not Gex himself, because this isn't Croc. Both games are about green reptiles, or at least Gex is like blue and green, but thankfully no tank controls elsewhere. Oops. So bouncing on these beds causes you to bounce high up and you get a ton of airtime, but it's also slow, so you just tail bounce over them. And you step on that and it'll slide open to this underground section, where we have a bonus coin here and a paw coin coming up. Oops. Tail kicking into walls. Now, throughout the rest of these levels, or rest of this level, there will be these searchlights and mines that you need to be wary of, but you do also need to die at the end for TV cancel coming up. So next objective is to destroy these 5 tents. Got that damage abuse, nice. Can't skip this cutscene, unfortunately. A lot of cutscenes you can skip, but not this one, and a few others. Anyway, speaking of searchlights, this objective involves destroying all of the searchlights in this area. You also need to be careful of these grenades, because they have absurd blast radiuses. You can avoid them by jumping or tail whipping in a precise way, but yeah, they have very large blast radiuses. And that turret right there is pretty annoying, because the paw coin gets in your way. But this remote is fun to optimize, especially the turrets. Some questionable movement. Thought I was about to miss that fly coin. Again, these tires, same thing as the beds from earlier. Give you a ton of air time, so you want to avoid them. And yeah, there's no real way to tell where you're shooting aside from the gunfire. You can see like a flame coming out, but there's no like crosshairs or anything. Last searchlight, and obviously that was the 100 fly coin remote. And then this awkward camera angle and awkwardly specific movement is very important to prevent an enemy from spawning until now, which I can do that. And then last remote, just walk around here. So up next is where the stakes truly start growing. This is Tut TV, or Holy Moses. And this is going to be the first true one cycle, as in just one visit. Everything, and ideally one visit only. Yeah, that bonus coin's kinda awkward. So the first objective over here is to kill these three Anubi, the three Anubises or whatever. Jumped way too early there, tail bounce, whatever. Although this Anubis you have to kill... I don't know what I'm doing. But this one you have to kill anyway just to progress through the level. Yeah, I did that Anubis all wrong. I don't know what I was doing. And then just going around getting more fly coins. You can see fly coins a lot of the times will be contained in various objects, like that hot dog stand or that snake in a jar. You'll see more of those as well throughout this level, and more of those in general, not specifically those things, but just all sorts of objects throughout the rest of the run. So far this level is pretty straightforward. But, it's not to say it will be permanently. Alright, here's a cool mechanic. Collectibles like paw coins and bonus coins you can get with spit power-ups from far away, as you saw there. And also you saw that was me getting another set of 25 paw coins, meaning it resets to 0, and I get an extra hit point. So yeah, the route's gonna be a little more all over the place now, and it'll all make sense in a bit. But first we gotta take care of some things. The camera angle there can be really finicky. Alright, so there's this camel here. And he only exists for this one room of the entire game. Pretty unfortunate, poor camel. We have to get off him now, though. Because there are some fly coins here, but we will be back on the camel to get the rest of the fly coins. And then some. Which you'll find out soon enough. Also, the fly coins, like, become really weird when you're on the camel. It's almost like they're becoming even more solid. You see you're, like, kind of forced around them when you're on the camel. Anyway, I'm gonna have to leave and re-enter, or else some things will happen that I don't want, specifically the camel despawning later on, because even though he only exists for this one room, we can give him some extra use. Just hop off the camel at a specific time, and you can get past the trigger that forces you off of the camel. There's another way of doing it, but it is slower, which involves just jumping up against the wall and getting out of bounds. Because one interesting property of this camel is that it can glide. Like that. See? You just have to tap the jump button to maintain the height, and just try not to lose it, specifically. So yeah, we're back here, where the second Anubis was. And we're continuing. Say hello to these faces. I'm sure everyone who's played this game remembers this. Even if the memory has been suppressed for many years, you are now having flashbacks. So this is why I wanted to leave that area and then re-enter, because the camel would have despawned there as I got off of it. And I'm going to use this camel to TV cancel. This is another method, the tail whip TV cancel, which you just tail whip onto the button, and you'll either want to die or tail whip onto some kind of object like this camel or a donkey in a later level. And I wait to get back on the camel there, because the camel likes to spaz out when the remote is above Gex's head. So I'm gonna get off the camel, tail whip onto the button of this TV, and then get back on the camel. Like that. And then I just go out of bounds to the second TV. But since the game's gonna want to force me out of the level, this is a frame-perfect TV cancel. You only have one every 18 frames to get it. And I didn't get it. So that loses close to a minute. But ideally, I would have gotten it, and would have gotten the true one cycle. So now I'll just have to redo some things from earlier. It's a no wrong warp strategy there. Or just any percent in general, I guess. And now we're back where we want to be. And I want to bring one of these flies with me for this last room. That loading zone is very weird. The camera angle will be different based on how you enter it. And like the differences in how you would enter it to change the camera angle are really precise. So it can be kind of hard to predict it. You can have a general idea, but sometimes it won't be exact. Well, like I said, you can use spit to grab coins. Yeah, I zoomed back out too early. There we go. And then, remember Gex streamed sports from earlier? Well, we gotta do it again. And this will be the last time we see it, fortunately. It's like that one went decent enough. That one went good. That one was also pretty good. That one was also good. Yeah, these are actually going decently well for this run. And then that one, like, that was a slight mistake, but also still pretty good. And now we're going to be seeing the first of something that you only see in this category, since there are ways to skip all of them except for the last one in the any % categories. The bosses. This is the first one. WW Gex Wrestling, or Invasion of the Body Slammers. And as you can tell, this boss is just a Stone Cold Steve Austin parody. And you want to manipulate him in doing this clapping attack. I failed right there, but I got it the first time. Yeah, that. That's his fastest attack. That's a very short boss. Anyway, remember the really laggy sandcastle? There it is again. And lag reduction to save the day. And then the other secret TV that was cut or replaced in the N64 version. And an interesting thing I neglected to mention is that 2 of the secret TVs, okay, so 3 of them in general have a little video clip that you can get. They're not required in this run because it would just reappear every time you come back to this level. It's not a permanent collectible or whatever. So that's why you don't get it. But they exist in the first 3 secret TVs, and 2 of the cut levels do have the video scene. But the last one that does have the video clip that wasn't replaced, which is the one in Slappy Valley, the underwater one, they still have that segment of the level, but they replaced the video clapper with a bonus coin. And an underwater section. Walking underwater would be cool here, but there would be no way to get out. Yeah, if you pause too early to skip a cutscene, you'll pause, but still skip the cutscene, interestingly enough. Anyway, up next is the Oregon Trail, the Western Station. And remember the critters I've been talking about? Well, this is the worst example of it, because you have 25 individual chickens running throughout this level. And they are a massive pain to deal with. This section, the first section here, isn't that bad. But it's specifically a later section that is a nightmare. Anyway, the Stonky here, you use to climb on the slope, and is actually slower than tail kicking, so we only use him for that. Too high up on the slope. Got caught up there. Yeah, that's not intended, obviously. You're meant to fall down from a higher segment of the level. There's a lot of cool skips you can do in this level as well. Some of them aren't really RTA viable either. Like a lot of slope jumping and stuff like that. Oops. Smart. First objective there, collect 5 of a kind. Just grab these 5 cards. That is not intentional. I don't want to get that checkpoint just yet. That's not intentional either, obviously. And then this is the real worst part of the level. Specifically right here. With all these chickens that like to group together. And it's very easy to lose track of which ones you've already gotten. Though this is going way better than they usually do. Oop, that's not very good. Yeah, that is definitely better than average. Could still be faster, but it's hard to ask for any better, really. Anyway, these guys, there's a few of them throughout this level, and they're kind of slow to kill. The best you can do is just try to guess while they will reappear. Like there. It is based on how you move and where you move, but again, it's not really something to easily manipulate. I like how when you tail whip them as they're fading away, the second time they say "Varmin," their pitch changes. I just always found that amusing. Varmin, Varmin. Still don't want that checkpoint. We're gonna do TV cancel, very similar to the camel one you saw earlier, just with the donkey. The donkey. Except, fortunately, this level does not require a frame-perfect TV cancel. However, if I were to say, like, accidentally throw myself off the camel here, the game would crash, just because, like, I guess the TV is too far away that the game can't handle it. But I don't have to worry about that now. Death Abuse will get rid of that. And now I can walk, although I still want to bring the camel, not, the donkey over for this next TV cancel. That first remote was just like, get to the top of the mountain or whatever. This is the 5 of a kind remote. And then not much left of this level. Up next, with these mine carts, or whatever they are, is a really great example of how things just don't exist on camera for the most part. Yeah, that one accidentally started too early. And I'm losing a lot of time because of it. But anyway, this is the world's largest mound of poop, as advertised in the game. You can even see it steams and has a lot of corn. Anyway, if you like the donkey, fear not. Got another level with him. This next bonus level, True Grits, which involves breaking 10 bug crates while on the donkey. And you probably noticed one of the worst things about running this category is this timer clicking that you hear in every bonus and secret TV, and several times throughout a lot of the main levels as well. But up next is probably the worst paw coin in the entire game. Okay, you know, never mind. I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah, I missed it. Loses quite a bit of time for one collectible if you miss it. It's another worry you have to have here is ledge grabbing by accident. There we go. And then up next is a really minor and basic trick, but I love it. Normally you need to hit a lever to destroy this gate, but you can just flick your tongue at it. And then this will be the last unique bonus level. It's called What a Crock. You can guess why. But everything else will just be a rehash of one you've already seen earlier. Like, as you get later into the game, the time limit gets lower, but that's pretty trivial for a speedrun. Camera angle for lag reduction. Dang. Oh, come on, come on, come on! Yeah, that's dumb. The cannonball cycles go as long as you are in the level, by the way. One of those few cycles that is not strictly camera dependent. Up next we got, honestly, like, low-key one of the harder levels in this run. This is the Buccaneer program, Cut Cheese Island. It's a very 90s joke, yes. But they make this long section that you have to go through for each remote, and we're just gonna skip it. We will have to go through it in the next visit, though, because, you know, 100 fly coin remote. And then another great example of manipulating cycles with the camera. And then normally you're supposed to go into those holes in the floor, but you can go to the side here, and it saves a cycle on this wall of death. And I'm gonna save that TV for later. Jump down there and ride this platform up here. Oops. Anyway, up next, 100 fly coin remote. Nice. And yeah, a lot of these treasure chests, some of them you just kind of have to wait as you get them. Not much you can really do about it. Some of them you can hit them right away and then just leave them behind for later to get the fly coins. Now, if you try to tail whip those pirates, they will sword fight you. And you kind of have to wait for them to tire out, I guess, before you can tail whip them. Or you can just tail kick right through them and not have to worry about them. Oops. Dang. That was really sad. That camera angle didn't really help either. Yeah, I didn't want to really take any risks with that pirate with how close to the ledge it was. Anyway, this room and the 100 fly coin remote pass is actually really difficult to optimize and get the proper cycle you want. Like, I've already failed the god cycle just by messing up that. And then, can I get this still? Yes. Yeah, these tight doorways are just a pain to deal with. The camera, when it comes to them. And yeah, we are on the outer deck of the ship. How clever was that all of those indoor sections were actually the inside of a massive pirate ship. Tail whip too early. That was my fault. And then the next objective is to destroy these 4 pirate ships, or boats, rather. And they take the same path every time. So if you're quick enough, you'll be doing the same thing every time, but it is actually pretty difficult to really nail it down and get it fast. I like to think the first 2 are harder than the last 2. Yeah, I'd say that one is the easiest of the 4. Especially because it starts on a straight path down the center. So earlier, I mentioned a sort of slide animation that Gex can do when you let go of the D-pad when running, and how you can do all sorts of things with it. And that includes TV canceling, and this will be the first instance of the slide TV cancel, where the simple way of doing it is by sliding onto the button and then doing whatever is necessary, in this case jumping off, and this one also involves a frame-perfect tail whip, but the time loss is nothing compared to the one in Holy Moses. And I'm just being super careful here. And then there's another advanced one you'll see later, where you slide off the top of the TV and you keep your momentum. Yeah, I didn't get it. But you'll be seeing that in a later instance. So yeah, just gonna be doing this again. And that's all of Lake Placid. So we're gonna do a save warp here, as it's faster than walking back to mission control. And up next is the third hub, not Lake Placid, we already went there. This is Slappy Valley. And you can tell it's a valley because it's green, or whatever. So we're going to take care of the 100 fly coin remote first. Nice wide turn there. And are y'all prepared for super laggy warp? Although the exit is the laggier one. It also plays a really loud sound when you do the warp for some reason. I didn't get the ledge grab there, nice. Walking underwater there is just not too efficient, especially since there's not really like a drop off in the where you approach the water. It's kind of a slope. Okay, still got it despite accidentally shifting the camera there. Whoops. Yeah, the camera there is terrible. Loves to get stuck on that column. That's a decently tight tail kick, so you do have to spend a bit of time setting it up. But anyway, the next instance of Marsupial Madness. Look familiar? Uh-huh. Oops. And keep in mind, if you pause and exit too soon before the complete text appears, then that code doesn't show up and it doesn't count as beating it. But anyway, this is the one main level that's completely different between the two versions. And anyone who's played this as a kid, this is by far the most infamous level for everyone. And definitely one of the hardest levels in the run in general. Maybe the hardest outright. Just because doing everything optimally is a massive pain. It's also a very laggy level, so you gotta be careful of that. Oops. There's a lot of timer-based stuff in here as well, as we'll be seeing in a bit. Dang. Didn't get the tail kick there, unfortunately. That guy there, you kind of just have to guess where it'll be to make sure you don't lose any time. Come on, jump. I'm not gonna go for it. Anyway, this first objective is to break the arms off of 5 statues, and should probably mention that this is going to be another 1 cycle. Or at least an attempt. No frame-perfect TV cancels, but still. And yeah, this level revolves around a lot of these strength power-ups to push things and break things and all that. A lot of people hate this level. That is not a good thing. I don't know why I delayed that ice power-up, but yeah, that's why I grabbed the checkpoint there. I was worried about that. Because this is a dumb backup. I got it. It's a sub-jump combined with a slope. So a slope jump, basically. And it is pretty annoying to get that. And since I don't have my ice power-up, I have to actually go over and manually grab that pot coin. Love how you can clearly see the tail going through it, but doesn't count. Yeah, you typically won't notice this in the any percent categories, but you absolutely do notice in 100% how terrible some of these hitboxes can be. Anyway, you're traversing down this little water path, this flowing path that allows you to move faster when walking across it. And then this is going to be the first air slide TV cancel. Just going to get this guy out of the way. Come on, grab. Trying to line up, and I still missed a fly coin. There we go. Go back here with this ice power-up for this, because normally getting that in the intended way means spending a lot of time pushing this really tall column around and going back and forth for that strongman power-up. Now, I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I would normally do, just to more or less minimize any kind of potential time loss. And instead of doing what I would normally do, TV canceling off of the end of the rainbow TV, I'm gonna TV cancel off of this. Now, just to be completely safe, I'm gonna save here in case... Oops, I didn't mean to do it twice there. Just in case I mess up royally and cause the game to crash. The different routing is causing me to forget the apple that you have to get smart. Yeah. Yeah, normally I would do this after the second TV cancel, like after the death abuse, but, you know, need to do it now if I want to do these marathon strats. See? Okay. Because, like, let's say I landed down on that land, like on that grassy land, without tail whipping, although I didn't land on it in general. But if I were to do that, the game would have crashed, and yeah, that's really, really bad. Okay. There we go. But yeah, you will not be seeing the infamous Rainbow TV skip in joke The in-joke of in-jokes. Which has a history. Oh no, I'm not from the Midwest, I'm from Florida. This is just an online marathon, so why not? But that TV cancel in particular, Rainbow TV cancel, or TV skip as someone I used to know would call it, that has a history because before Slide TV cancel was found, that was an RNG dependent TV cancel. It was based on random movements of the flying wrestling around it. And you basically had to do really well at reading the enemy pattern, hope you get the correct one, and hope you do a precise series of inputs following it. But now there's Slide TV cancel, which makes it way more than a million way easier. Swam up too much here. I missed the fly coin there. Yeah, this level is entirely underwater. At least it's not as bad as the Titanic level from the N64 version of Gex 2. Yeah, in Gex 2, they replaced one of the levels with this absurdly boring and tedious Titanic-themed level that's like 80 to 85% underwater. Am I missing anything? I'm dumb, yeah. Yeah, I very rarely forget things, but every now and then it still happens. And yeah, those mines cause a lot of lag, so try to avoid them. Oh yeah, you right. Thank you, Panhandle. Anyway, more True Grits. I don't even get why it's called that. Like, I understand the other bonus levels, Marsupial Madness, Gextreme Sports, and War and Pieces, What a Crock. Like, they all make sense, but I'm guessing it's just some reference or joke I don't get. But yeah, why is this level called True Grits? Got caught on that wall. And then up next is one of the cooler levels in the run. Red Riding in the Hood, the Fairy Tale level, or Fairy Tales TV. It's basically just a giant beanstalk that you're supposed to go higher and higher for each remote. And as usual, one cycle, ahoy. I say ahoy, but that would have been more appropriate for the pirate level earlier. Anyway, first objective is to destroy the 3 little pigs' houses. In No Wrong Warp, you do it in reverse order, but here in 100%, you do it in the proper order. And yes, those explanations would make sense. Thank you. Yeah, as the vines get thinner, and they're still fly coins at the thin parts, is one of the tougher things to optimize. Those purple leaves that you bounce on, the hitboxes of them are kind of finicky. And you can, like, bounce on them as you bounce up to them, and I'll try to go for some here. Yeah, I didn't get any, unfortunately. And yeah, timer again. This level features these free, like, silver tokens or whatever that you tail whip to activate a bonus coin, and you have to get it in the time limit. So, like, this one's right here. But the timer still goes. Tick, 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 tick. Yep. Gotta love it. And yeah, there's a lot of lag when it comes to breaking the houses. Anyway, next objective you just saw me activate the remote for is to jump over 3 candles. There we go. The idea of the slide TV cancel like that, where you just slide onto the button, is that you can either crouch or jump during the sliding animation, and do that. Accidental double tap. Yeah, if you tap the camera buttons quickly enough, you get a very quick 90-degree angle turn, and that can happen accidentally every now and then. I've had it outright kill runs before, too. Yeah, normally you're supposed to go on to this climbable section to the side, you see it there, but you can just glide over to it. You can also do the same for this one, but obviously you need the fly coins there. And then this one you cannot skip, unfortunately. Well, actually, there is a way, but it's really dumb. And it wouldn't even be worth it in this category because of those fly coins on the second part. Alright, so normally the safe strat that I would do is to grab this checkpoint, then head back down to that TV to the side there on the other bridge, TV cancel off that, and then respawn back at the checkpoints. Now, the optimal strat would be to go straight up here, get the 100 fly coin remote, TV cancel off the TV at the top here, and just go, like, land straight onto the button for the TV down there. But basically just for marathon safety, to minimize any potential time loss, I'm going to take care of the 100 fly coin remote here, then go back down, do the safe TV cancel, and then come back up here for the final remote. That was really close. There we go. And yeah, the fall is pretty long, unfortunately. Yeah, now I just can go up top and finish off this level. Yeah, that's Red Riding in the Hood. And next, accidental pausing, because when you like load into an area for the first time, like from another place, you want to hold the start button to skip any animations, and PlayStation start buttons just suck. Like, I'm just gonna say it straight up, they suck, and that causes that accidental pausing pretty much. Anyway, next boss, the Lizard of Oz, or Lions, Tigers, and Gecks. This one is an auto-scroller for the most part. Like, the camera sections, like when they spawn, those can be optimized, but that's about it. Other than that, you gotta wait. It's the same thing every time. It was too far back. Nice. Dang, didn't get the damage abuse. Yeah, there's a weird damage abuse strat you can get where if the wrestling hits you, like right as the screen would fade out, it instead doesn't. You still get the token from beating the boss, but you can pause and exit, and it skips the like jingle, the congratulations screen. Anyway, in War and Pieces again. Many, many, many pieces. Though we won't be seeing it after this. Again, camera manipulation. Whoop-de-doo. That was pretty sloppy. Alright. So up next, we have probably the most beloved level of the game. Y'all like anime? Because apparently Gex does. This is the anime channel when sushi goes bad. And it's a very 1999 British, I think, actually, definition of anime. Or American, I honestly don't know for sure. But yeah, basically only amounts to mechs and schoolgirls, but there is this really cool skip we can do. We do it now for this remote, and also during the 100 fly coin remote, where you just fly out of bounds, you skip a small segment of this objective, and the textures just don't appear properly for the entire remote. Oh, I wasn't kidding, nah. Pretty much everyone I've ever heard talk about this game says they love this level. And in 100%, it is a little long, but could be worse, I guess. It is the longest level in the run, as well, should be noted. And then this glide isn't hard, but because you can't really see where you are, it makes it a lot harder. And then unskippable cutscenes galore. And yes, this level also has a flying costume, like the Fairy Tales level did before it. Anyway, last free remotes will be done in this visit, ideally, because there is a TV cancel towards the end. But like I said, longest level in the run. Basically, each objective is put off in its own section of the level. 3 different sections for different remotes, and you gotta go through all of them. And you're gonna see me leave fly coins behind, because you do have to... Yeah, I didn't get it, but you do have to go back through this, especially for these schoolgirls. You'll see one come out of each of these compartments or whatever as you go through it, and then new ones will appear when you go back through, leaving this section. Yeah, the schoolgirls can really kick your butt if you're not careful. I don't like not getting those on the way, just in case I forget to get them on the way back, so I like to at least tail with them, and at the very least save the fly coin for later. Didn't get the tail kick. Not like the biggest time save ever, but still unfortunate. Sometimes the hitboxes on those mechs can just disappear for a time, like for a few seconds, and I don't know exactly what causes it. And I said that this level is full of unskippable cutscenes. That is true, but the next 2 cutscenes, there is a trick to try and skip them. Yeah, I got that one. That's the easier of the 2. The second one's actually really tough, and I usually don't get it. Yeah, I didn't get it. Basically, just want to tail kick away from the test tubes or whatever. Not test tubes, but tubes. Hey, you can skip that with the same strategy as well. And I don't want to take too much damage. Like I said, there is a TV cancel at the end, which involves a death abuse. But there are a lot of opportunities to lose health, so I don't really want to take too much damage early on. Yeah, normally you'd have to hit a switch to make those lasers go away, but you can just tail kick in between them. That's really unfortunate. I was gonna get this either way, but yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant about the schoolgirls, or new schoolgirls appearing there. That's a very laggy section, so that explains the awkward camera angle. Nice ledge grab. And then... yeah, one of the biggest problems with this out of bounds is... I'm not going to trust that, but one of the biggest problems is not avoiding getting the camera stuck Hopefully that'll do it. Alright. I got it ledge grabless the last remote, which was pretty nice. And then I'm gonna get this for safety. Now we're gonna get fly coins while in the void. Yippee. 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 Whoops. If you miss the dot, you get the irritating voice. If you get the dot, you get the irritating voice. And I missed the fly coin there for some reason. I'm being dumb. One thing that this Out of Bounds does that's really interesting is you can kind of notice the fly coins and even like the paw coins while underwater are almost doubled in a way. You kind of have to look pretty close at them to really tell, but yeah, it's a pretty interesting side effect. Now, I do not want to destroy either of these robots, or else I will soft lock the level and cannot get the 100 fly coin remote. Because this little booster thing or whatever will revert back to its first stage, meaning that I cannot get up top here, which I failed the first time, but now I can. And I wouldn't be able to get the 100 fly coin remote. It's like I don't want to get too close to them because I don't want to take any accidental hits. Yeah, these Reslings in this level, like in this section of the level specifically, just have some really scuffed hitboxes. And also I want to start taking some damage. Because like I said earlier, death abuse. Because TV cancel. And then another potential soft lock you can get in this 100 fly coin remote. If you hopped on the elevator without getting all of the fly coins here, you can't get them. Soft lock. Isn't that lovely? Great level. Another thing is to soft lock the level is if you hit that Resling the same time you hit that switch, you will fly coin glitch. Camera. And we get to ride all the way back down, and you can't death abuse there at all just because you killed everything you could def abuse on. There is a clip you can do through the glass that would keep the barrier up, and you could def abuse on that, but it's just not practical to do in this category. Also, that would mean after respawning, you'd have to go out of your way to take 7 hits, and that would lose a ton of time, so yeah. Now again, I'm going to save here for any risk or potential of crashing game, which is again very low, but still there. Come on. And then that is all of Slappy Valley. Back to mission control so we can head to the final hub, Funky Town. And unlike the other hubs, we will not be immediately tackling the Flycoin remote. We'll do that a little later. First, we are gonna head over to this bonus level, the last instance of What a Crock. Squeeze in between the wall and the mine there. If you get too close to the wall, you'll get caught up on it, like there. And you can bite the mines to avoid getting hit by them, but you can get kind of caught up on them and lose a bit of time. Like, you see how there it swayed off to the side a little bit? It's a very, very minimal time loss, but like, even frames is still a time loss, you know? Alright, I didn't get hit by the cannonball. Also, I should mention, it's the only bonus level that you cannot pause and exit out of, because it's all pretty much always recognizing you as moving when you finish it. Whoa. Was not letting me move the camera. And then, yeah, messed up the cycle, the camera manip, whatever. Anyway, the superhero show, Super Zeros. We've got the last true one cycle of the run. Though the last level after this does still have ATV cancel. Oops. So yeah, this level revolves a lot around these superhero outfits. There's this one that recurs throughout the level, this strongman outfit. And then a flying one later on. Oops. Also, these outfits do mean the ticking. The ticking, it never goes away. Tick, tick. Frantic, tick, 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 tock. Some would say that Gex's lifestyle determines his death style. Now that I have willingly threw away any amount of shame that I might have, I mentioned that flying outfit. Normally there are these 3 enemies you have to kill to activate it or open the store, but instead you can grab that checkpoint, Death Abuse, and for some reason it opens. Yeah. And this one's permanent, unlike those strongman outfits. And is necessary in getting everything in this level. Have to tail whip there when, like, falling from letting go from a climbable wall in order to glide after it, or else it just won't let you. You'll see that again in a bit. First, the Mad Bomber. It's in a lot of ways kind of just a retracing of the Santa remote from the first level. However, we can do this camera manipulation strat to skip his animations and him jumping from side to side, making this go by a lot quicker. And yeah, if you can't tell, the route for this level is all over the place, but it all makes sense in the end. A lot of lag, too. Like, no matter where your camera angle is, there'll be a lot of lag. Come on. Nice wide turn. Come on. And that's the 100 fly coin remote. Still a few things left to get, though. Including the last 2 remotes and some paw coins. Okay, that's not a big deal. I already got the 100 fly coin remote. That was a pretty dumb death, though, I will admit. Wait. I left a paw coin behind in the Mythology Network. Okay, so this isn't 100% anymore, I lied. And I'm not gonna be bothered to go find it. This couldn't PB anyway, so yeah. Technically not 100%, yay, but oh well. I blame the marathon strats screwing over my muscle memory. Though really I have no one to blame but myself. Anyway, those same superhero outfits are in this level, and now we are gonna get the Funky Town 100 flight coin remote. There's a lot of running back and forth for this flight coin remote, actually. A lot of lag in this level, too. Alright, one of the best softlock potentials right there. If I were to skip that cutscene too quickly, then the gate would not have blown up. Yeah, this is one of the more boring fly coin remotes in the run just because of all the running back and forth you have to do. I will say, though, this is the first time I've run this category in a marathon where I'm actually, like, good at it, and not in, like, the 2-3x range. Now I have whir, haha. Oh. It's because I couldn't get over that wall quick enough. Nice. Yeah, there's been some questionable decisions throughout this run, like what just happened there, or forgetting the Paw Coin and Mythology Network, or Saint Anger references of all things. And we're gonna go over here to take care of everything here. Here, 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 my dear. You know, I'll do something I probably should have done way earlier. Talk about the other categories. So there's no wrong warp, which is just the standard any percent for the game. You know, beat the game as fast as possible while getting all the intended remotes and whatnot. And then any percent, which allows for a wrong warp, where instead of focusing on remotes, you get focus on bonus coins. And then that one bonus level over there, that I did earlier, the What a Croc one, you TV cancel off that with the flying power-up, and fly into the loading zone in a specific way so that the game doesn't crash, and you can wrong warp into the final boss. But on top of that, the N64 version has an exclusive item duplication glitch that brings the any percent run from 23 minutes to 15, or 14 rather. So yeah, this is a very laggy level. And as the second longest level in the run, I think. Pretty sure, yeah. Oh yeah, it definitely is. And these first two remotes we're going to get in one visit with a TV cancel, but we cannot do a true one cycle, unfortunately. So because of the TV cancel, I do need to take some damage. So the first objective is to destroy these 5 root beer barrels. I missed that tail kick. That's a really tough tail kick landing on here. And then it's been a while since you've seen this. Walking underwater. Yay. I think earlier I said only 2 instances, but technically 3. It's just that 2 of them are done at the same location. That big pool of water. And I tail bounce there just so I don't take a hit from the gunfire. And then here, the objective here is to free your friend Cuz. And we can just do this. And then, unintended jump here. This one's pretty tight. Yeah, that was really close. Yeah. You can also bounce on Alfred over there to jump over the wall, and without a ledge grab at that. So that is faster, but it's also a lot tighter. Anyway, 100 fly coin remote. This one's a doozy. It's so easy to lose time here. So much that can go wrong. Not even like any skips or anything in particular. It's just everything in the level is a nightmare to deal with. And on top of that, doing it fast. Yeah, you want to hit these guys with the spit instead of tail whipping them 3 times. I missed the lock. Alright, want to make sure the fly coin spawns. Oops. Ooh. That's not the worst thing, but it is slow, because now I have to swim over here in this laggy water. And that flame is not really helping the performance either. But anyway, one more instance of walking underwater. This one saves a lot of time. Because this would be so tedious to do without it. Hold on. Yeah. Anyway, this last objective is to burn 5 bundles of funny money. Because this is the gangster level. I messed up big time. How much am I gonna regret this? Oh. Alright, that worked out. Lag. This is one of the laggiest levels in the game. Potentially the laggiest. I'm gonna take 2 here, like before, because it's can't really get everything here of just 1. Yeah, you can hit the birds with the spit power-up and they'll burn up and you'll get the fly coin that way. Come on. Yeah, normally my paw coin counter there should say 49, but haha. Okay, fine, whatever. And that's the last main level. Though we still do have a bonus level, a secret TV, and the final boss. And what other note to end on? The final bonus level, then Marsupial Madness again. The only one that gets done 3 times. Every other bonus level is just twice. This one is special because it has a kangaroo. Should mention that that cycle is really tough to get, and that is a non-camera based cycle. It goes as the level starts. Alright, this level is called Cheesy Rider. Yep. This was the other secret TV that was kept the same in the N64 version, by the way. And the only one without a movie clapper cutscene thing, whatever. Yeah, I try to tail whip across the oil slick so I don't lose momentum, but it's pretty tough. And final collectible count. I'll be one off for paw coins, unfortunately. But everything else is fine. Last paw coin is right here. And this is the final boss, and the only boss that has a level accompanying it. Now normally, you're supposed to go around the base and hit these 3 switches. But we don't have to. It all comes back to sliding. So there's this interesting speed glitch where if you take a hit through like a fire here, and then glide into the fire as your iframes are active, you get a speed boost. And you can use it to clip through this barrier, and I got it first try, which is really good. You can do the same thing in Anime Channel, it's just not all that practical to do it in this category. Because, like, just jumping will kill the extra momentum, for example, or getting hit elsewhere. So there is a 1 cycle you can do with this fight where he doesn't do any of his attack animations, but it requires a really precise tail kick. So I will be letting him play out that 1 animation. And then you can do some tricky jumps to skip the animations as well. And then just kind of like slide your thumb from X to circle to do this little movement here. And then look down at the floor for lag reduction. Get ready on time. Time. I skipped the ending, like it's technically not a 100% ending, but there's an all remotes ending, and I skipped the normal ending as well for meh. Whatever. Really underestimate, just because there's a lot that can go wrong with this category. There's a lot of potential time loss. And yeah, you don't get to see the loot ending because I'm dumb and I just was mashing X for some reason. But this song's the real ending, let's be real. That was 100%. It's a ride, it's a decently lengthy ride. Obviously there are many longer runs, and technically this wasn't even 100%. I forgot a paw coin, but yeah, that went pretty well, actually.
Yeah, thanks for doing that run. I remember growing up and playing that game a bunch. Great to see it demolished.
Yep. So, yeah, enjoy the next run. And things.
Alright. Everyone stay tuned. Yakuza Kiwami will be played by